Welcome to Mindful Drawing. I'm Rooks Fun, and I'll be your guide on this meditation to the act of drawing as a way to enter into a space of creativity, relaxation, maybe a little bit of fun, and also a practice of the discipline of connecting with ourselves, our breath, the position of the body, and the sensations we get from engaging mindfully into some kind of creative act. This week, we'll focus our meditation with an anchoring on gratitude. What does that feeling bring to you? Both a feeling of the self, a grateful for, as well as an extending out, a being grateful for things. As we combine that centering in and extending out as a position of attention, a position of awareness within ourselves, and also an inspiration for our expression on the paper. Gratitude is one of the primary character strengths in Paul Seligman's signature strengths, and a place I like to start often with my journaling and other meditations, as it helps to center where we are. We always can find things that we're grateful for, even if it's just to have some clothes, or to feel the wind on our skin, or that the sun is shining today, or perhaps that the clouds are making it cooler. Anything present at hand can be looked at with that sense of gratitude, and let that expand out and become a way to enter into larger things in our lives that we can be grateful for. But if where you are right now is on the page with a pen in your hand, that is where we'll begin. And gratitude that we can share these moments through this medium of video and recording through a platform like YouTube, and enter into an act of mindful drawing. So if this sounds fun to you, grab a pencil, pen, piece of paper, sketchbook, anything you can draw with, and let's draw together. I don't know if we'll need a warm-up. We'll do more of an anchoring or centering just to get into the space and then head right into it and see where it goes. I thought for some reason it feels like a Monday to me today, so we start the week off with a little bit of kind of entering or anchoring onto a meditation on gratitude and what that might bring for you, as we just do a little scanning through our presence and our body and our mind, and say that word to ourselves inside: gratitude. Looking at what sensations or feelings that might bring up, perhaps letting the hands play with your pen or pencil in between the fingers, or move across the paper page, just noticing little things and connecting that to what your internal sensation of a concept of something like gratitude, and a centering, an awareness of self, a gratefulness for things that affect the self, as well as an expanding at all those external things: support, surround, influence, affect, inspire, and in any other way contribute to that sense of self. Gratitude for little things like the sun, a little bit of rain perhaps here we need on the East Coast. Could be bigger things in your life, longer term or shorter term. I like to start with the here and nows, the smooth texture of the paper, the feel of familiarity and comfort with a pen or pencil that you're used to working with, things that are present that I can bring my attention to. And with our mind focused on that internal perception, and sensation of gratitude, you can begin by finding on the page with your pencil or pen a point of center, and just spending a couple of moments expressing that place, filling in with circles or dots, or just allowing the pencil or pen to rest there if you want some stillness, action or stillness a part of the drawing, and making our mark or expression. Take a good breath in and let it out slowly, evenly. And then on the next in-breath, just let that pen or pencil extend out from that center in some kind of large loop or arc. Moving out on the in-breath, peaking at the apex, and then returning on the out-breath. You can do this with eyes open or closed. I think I'll keep my eyes open just to follow the pen or pencil and that in-breath reaching out, and exhaltation back to center. Tracking a path that extends out and returns back through the center mark, beginning to form that shape or arc with the whole movement and presence of our breath. With the effect of our breathing rise and fall on the arm or the hand. And working around sequentially or arbitrarily from that center out. And after a few rotations, we have a sense of the place of our drawing. We can begin again with a new center, reposition the body a little bit, find somewhere comfortable to work, and establish again that point of beginning, that point of anchor or self. And then on the breath in, head out, and on the return, come back. There's always time for a little pause back at the center spot, maybe to realign the hand, to take a breath in between if you get a little caught up in the motion, to realign the breathing. And as we're doing a few of these, and you get the connection there between the breath and the act of drawing, we can refine that. Look to make it as smooth as possible. Spending some breaths. Moving a little slower. Tracking the hand to our natural rhythm of filling the lungs and the chest cavity. Pausing at the moment of apex. And letting gravity do some work. Just send the air back out. And feel free to move around to new centers to begin each time a deeper attention, deeper awareness to that motion through the whole body. The loops may expand or contract depending on how you're bringing that connection into the breathing. Moving slower and smoother may bring smaller arcs, or perhaps a relaxation into a natural flow lets them grow and expand outwards. each loop radiating, expanding our center, anchored back visually and through our natural rhythms. Maybe do one or two more areas of looping, of extending that self, reaching out, perhaps searching the mind, the awareness, bringing back that sensation that we started with, of things in our area of influence that bring us gratitude. Stuff in the moment, maybe the stillness and temperature of the space, things far away, a trip planned or remembered. Anything that begins to drift into that mental awareness, to gratitude, as the breath has established our rhythm and technique, and then can shift to the background to allow some deeper inward focusing. With this outward expression in our action of drawing onto the page, of bringing expression to our presence, to our awareness. And if, like yours, and like mine, yours has begun to fill up a little bit, you can continue to work with these orbits, following them along, beginning a center, and just tracking out what is pulled in to that area of inspiration, of memory, of contemplation and gratitude. We can also transition to a space of exploration, finding in each of these radiating, floral, atomic, whatever patterns we begin to see, new opportunities in the overlap. Just letting the pen and the eye explore what is there, perhaps starting from one of our established centers, or jumping into the new framework where these patterns may overlap. For me, I find the moments between loops make some interesting shapes to track back through, give some emphasis to and thickness, to explore and contemplate. Finding a rhythm in the curvature. A recording of a time of our breath, of a shape formed by our action without intention to create any specific thing, with the consequence to create this thing. A potential starting place to explore how our mind and our eyes read. How this practice in an act of drawing and awareness may bring new ideas, new inspirations. Perhaps some, if yours looks anything like mine, may see a flower, may see the structures of an atom represented in our simple diagrams, may see something wildly different depending on your breath, your eyes open or closed, or may just see loops and scribbles, things to track along and draw out from. I think I'll move from region to region, taking what was found in the beginning and searching for it deeper in each potential moment, each expression of a different cycle of breath, of presence. Using the fluidness of my medium, the pen, ink spilling out, or the graphite flaking and covering, to bring new dimension, new thickness, new shape and expression of figure. Into these starting moments. Taking a minute as we sink into a somewhat repeatable or kind of followable technique, a reading of a repetitive pattern, now extend it out as that systematic doodle can, just like our breath, be a major part of the foreground for a while and anchoring into the moment, and then drift to the background to give us new space, new depth to look in and explore what we might find in the actions of our drawing, in the being present with our motion and our technique. But at any time, feel free to stay with the sensations of tracking and reading within what's created. I'm going to begin to bring my attention deeper in to that connection between the medium, the pen or pencil, and the paper, as I use the platform to track motion, to track that visual expression, and to feel in to how the instrument draws. If you're moving back a drawing along the tool, does that bring a different feeling than if you're pushing towards? Is your paper rough or smooth? And does that transfer through what you're using to draw into the nerves of your fingertips? with that attention on the primary hand, the hand of making the action and drawing now. What do you feel in the small muscles that control the fingers? How do they want to move? Do they creak a little bit from the repetition? Or is there a smoothness in that medium connection that lets them glide? In mine, I feel a bit of tightness and tension today. If you begin to feel that, it's good to bring that attention to yourself, to what messages are being sent through the body, and that may be a consequence of exercising those hands here or something else in your day, and a message that we can be attentive to, aware of, and decide to act with. That maybe we need to give that hand a break, to surrender to its own limitations for a little while. Be grateful for its service here in this practice and in everything else they help us do throughout the day. And give the other hand an opportunity to work for a little while. It may feel less controlled, a little wobbly, and that's okay here. Just let it do its best. Be grateful that we can switch between these two hands, mirrors of each other with their own quirks and differences. The using and engaging of the offhand, a great opportunity for increased mindfulness, both in the attention necessary for some degree of motor control, but also in the less ingrained awareness of sensation, all those little bumps, vibrations, the holding of the pen or pencil, the movement of it in our hand, much less normalized in our mind, more unique, triggering a heightened awareness. And if you find it challenging, whether you're using your normal hand or your offhand, you can always come back into our breath, relax that grip a little bit, loosen our hold on the need for precision, exactness for a little while. Let the wobbles of fatigue, of our natural motor control, or of our less exercised muscle nerve connections become part of what is here. Again, surrendering to what is happening, observing or witnessing its outcome through a medium here on the page, through the drawing. Maybe even finding in it some new fun opportunities. And knowing that at any time during the exercise you can switch back and forth, left or right, even placing the pencil down for a while and just tracing along with a finger or sitting in stillness is all okay and part of that entering into a space of awareness. Listening to what your body, your mind are telling you. Giving yourself some space through that lens of gratitude for those messages, for all the things that go on behind the scenes without us having to constantly manage them, but occasionally listen in to them. Finding that balance between awareness and control. We'll take the next few minutes just to draw with some silence, continuing the technique, or finding new expression, and playing in this space you've created. Often the case with any kind of creative act and play, just as we start to find something in it, we run out of time. And feel free as your morning continues, if you have time, to keep drawing or come back to something later in the day, or to let the idea sink in and see how it may influence other things. Creativity at play, not just in the creation of artifacts, drawing, or any other medium, but in how we approach all of our situations throughout the day. And bringing to ourselves a little bit of gratitude for that influence of creativity on anything that we do and problems we may encounter. Thank you for joining along. That brings my gratitude in full circle here, as I am grateful for anyone who may find any value, usefulness, entertainment, relaxation, or creative expression from these videos. I do them as my opportunity to explore these own concepts, to give myself a little self-time and be grateful for that time I can claim to do something I love to do with the drawing, and hopefully find a little bit of inspiration for whatever else goes on throughout my day, and I hope that can happen for you as well. I think often gratitude can speak for itself as we bring a focus and attention to that place of thankfulness, that place of accepting what we have and looking at all the opportunities that may be around us as a great anchoring moment and a strength we can use to approach challenges in our life, to look on the other side of things, to find what the opportunity is, how we may grow from engaging in any challenge, and to be grateful for that expression of life. And I thank you for joining. If you liked the video, give it the old thumbs up below. Leave a comment and let us know how it has influenced you or what you might have created there. You can always share your images of what you may have drawn on Instagram at RooksIsFun, or just keep them hidden away in that scrapbook as little playful moments of disciplined, creative, and mindful practice. Until next week, this is RooksIsFun, signing off. Thank you.